Why did Jin's mother quietly board a flight to Japan just days after Jin himself slipped away for his highly secretive filming project? And why is no one from Big Hit Music talking about it? As news of her sudden arrival broke this morning, fans around the world were left stunned, desperate for answers to the growing mystery surrounding Jin's solo album Echo. The story broke when a small group of sharp-eyed ARMYs spotted a familiar figure at Haneda Airport. None other than Jin's own mother, disguised under a simple beige coat, black mask and wide-brimmed hat. Despite her efforts to remain unnoticed, the distinct aura of familiarity was unmistakable to fans who have followed BTS for over a decade. Within minutes, rumors exploded across social media, forcing everyone to ask the same burning question. Why is Jin's mother in Japan now, and what role does she play in Echo's secret production? The timing is simply too perfect to ignore. Jin, who had already stirred global curiosity with his low-profile flight to Japan just days earlier, is in the middle of filming what insiders describe as his most personal project to date. Sources close to the production whispered that Echo is not just an album. It's a visual and emotional diary meant to unveil sides of Jin that even longtime fans have never seen before. And now, the unexpected arrival of his mother suggests that the project may involve elements far more intimate than anyone had dared to imagine.
Speculations vary wildly.
Some believe Jin's mother was invited to feature in the music video itself, possibly in a deeply symbolic cameo meant to represent Jin's roots, struggles, and emotional growth. Others wonder if her visit is related to a personal crisis, perhaps something so sensitive that Jin needed his mother's presence while navigating the pressures of his new solo era. Fans remember vividly how Jin, throughout BTS's career, has spoken sparingly yet lovingly about his parents, preserving their privacy with utmost care. For her to appear now, halfway across the world during such a pivotal moment, shatters that long-standing distance and raises the stakes of Echo even higher. Adding fuel to the fire, a blurry photo circulated late last night showing a woman who matches Jin's mother's profile entering the same luxury hotel where Jin was rumored to be staying. Another fan video appeared to capture a quick exchange between Jin and the woman outside a private vehicle, an embrace so swift and subtle that it would have gone unnoticed by anyone unfamiliar with their bond. And yet, amid the chaos of speculation, Big Hit remains silent.
No confirmation. No denial.
No protection of privacy statements. The fandom's reaction is split. Some ARMYs celebrate the possibility of Jin including his family in his creative process, viewing it as a beautiful gesture that further personalizes his upcoming album. Others, however, express concern. Was Jin pressured by the weight of expectations to dig into personal memories he was not fully ready to share? Was the emotional burden too much for him to carry alone? Adding another layer of intrigue, a past interview resurfaced where Jin admitted he sometimes avoided involving his family in his professional milestones because he feared mixing private life with work could lead to misunderstandings or emotional overwhelm. That quote now feels eerily prophetic. Meanwhile, in Japan, local news outlets began staking out areas near Jin's filming sites, trying to catch a glimpse of the superstar or his family members. Rumors even suggested that one scene of the alleged music video was halted temporarily earlier today because Jin needed a moment alone after a personal conversation with someone, believed to be his mother. No images or recordings of that interaction have surfaced, but for a fandom that knows Jin's emotional language better than anyone, the clues are deafening. A fan-compiled timeline now reveals an even deeper rabbit hole. Jin's departure, his secret notebook, the rooftop set leaks, the sudden arrival of his mother. The pattern is clear. This isn't just a music project. It's a pilgrimage, a reckoning, a transformation, and it's happening right before our eyes. The phrase "have a safe flight" Jin now carries a double meaning. Not just a physical journey across borders, but an emotional voyage into memories, relationships, and perhaps even regrets that Jin has kept quietly locked away for years. And what makes this even more heart-wrenching is the possibility that the next time we hear Jin sing, it will not just be his voice carrying the melody. It will be the silent echoes of his mother's hopes, sacrifices, and love woven into every line. As the days tick closer to the release of Echo, the world watches not just with excitement but with bated breath. Because whatever Jin is preparing to reveal will not be the polished, perfected idol version of himself the world thought it knew. It will be the son, the dreamer, the fighter, the man who once left home with trembling hands and wide, scared eyes, chasing a future he wasn't sure he deserved, and who now, many years later, calls his mother across the seas to witness who he has finally become. The question now isn't whether Echo will break records. It's whether we're ready to handle the emotional storm Gene is about to unleash. Because if Gene has taught us anything, it's this: the most powerful songs aren't sung from the stage. They're whispered from the heart, and sometimes they start with a mother's quiet, unseen journey to stand beside her son when he needs her most. The world had barely caught its breath from the revelation of Jin's mother secretly arriving in Japan when another tremor shook the fandom to its core. Whispers began to circulate from sources close to the production team. An emotional disagreement had reportedly occurred between Gene and his mother during a private meeting at the hotel. Though no official accounts confirm the nature of the discussion, witnesses described seeing Gene leaving the private conference room visibly shaken, his mask pulled tightly over his face as he walked briskly toward the rooftop filming location. His mother remained inside, reportedly wiping her eyes with a handkerchief. Was it a difference in creative vision? A mother's worry for her son's emotional state? Or something deeper, a clash between past and future? Between the man Gene has become and the boy his mother once knew. As Army scoured every angle, one detail emerged that set fire to speculation. A handwritten note. A note believed to be from Jin's mother, left on Jin's dressing table hours later, photographed accidentally by a staff member updating the set for the next shoot. Though blurred and partially obscured, 3 words were unmistakably visible. "I still worry." That fragile admission sent shockwaves through the fandom. Was his mother hinting at fears that Jin's new music would expose too much of his private pain? That the son she had protected so fiercely might now be bearing wounds that fame and time had never fully healed? Fans remembered how Gene, despite his outward humor and broad smile, had always carried a gentleness that bordered on fragility when it came to matters of home and heart. Interviews throughout BTS's career showed glimpses of it. An occasional crack in the armor, a soft glance whenever family was mentioned, a quiet grief he never put into words. Now, for the first time, it felt like Gene wasn't just telling his story, he was confronting it. And his mother, perhaps sensing the emotional price her son would pay for such vulnerability, found herself torn between pride and fear. As night fell over Tokyo, another stunning development unfolded. At approximately 10:30 p.m. local time, fans stationed discreetly near the rumored filming site reported seeing Gene, still dressed in his simple rooftop outfit, standing alone at the edge of the building. In his hand, he held what appeared to be a folded letter. Witnesses described how he stood motionless for several minutes, looking up at the sky, before tucking the letter carefully into his jacket and beginning another intense scene for what insiders now confirm will be the music video centerpiece of Echo. Some believe the letter he carried wasn't a prop. It was the real message from his mother, the silent anchor he needed as he delivered the rawest, most personal performance of his career. No cameras captured that private moment. No microphones recorded what he whispered into the night air. But those who saw it said everything about his body language spoke volumes. The tremble in his hands, the fierce set of his jaw, the way he exhaled as if releasing a lifetime of buried words. And somewhere behind the camera, hidden from view, fans believe Jin's mother stayed. Watching, hoping, trusting that her son knew what he was doing, even if the journey broke both their hearts a little along the way. Meanwhile, the Army community entered full emotional overdrive. Theories exploded. Was one of the tracks on Echo secretly written for his mother? Was there a hidden message Gene wanted to deliver through his performance? Would we, as listeners, even recognize the layers of emotion woven into every lyric unless we understood the gravity of what happened here in Tokyo? As always, Gene remained silent publicly. No cryptic posts.
No beberse abtests.
No clues dropped. Only the growing awareness that Echo would be different from anything anyone had dared to expect. And now, with his mother's quiet shadow falling across this pivotal chapter, Echo had transcended being just an album or a comeback. It had become something sacred, a bridge between generations, a testament to a family's silent battles, and a farewell to innocence Gene could never fully reclaim. Early next morning, a final rumor surfaced, so electrifying it silenced even the wildest debates. Jin's mother had reportedly left a recording studio in Tokyo just hours before dawn. Eyewitnesses claim she looked both exhausted and radiant, as if having witnessed something unspeakably beautiful yet heart-wrenching. Was she present when Jean recorded a special track? Did she hear a song written just for her? Or did she leave carrying the bittersweet knowledge that the boy she once cradled had become a man the world would soon see in all his broken, beautiful reality? No one knows for sure. What is certain is this. When Echo finally releases, it will carry not just the voice of Jean, but the echo of everything his mother gave him. The love, the fears, the hope, and the silent prayers whispered across oceans and decades. And when the world presses play, they won't just be hearing a singer. They'll be hearing a son who dared to tell the truth.